Welcome, everybody, to Den Excelsior, the Mostly Marvel show. This is episode 204, talking about Thor Ragnarok. I'm your host, Ricky. With me, as always, Dennis.
I probably should have mentioned this on the tech check, but you have an echo.
Well, it's too late now.
I know. I just realized that. I was just noticing that. Not like feedback, but like it's like the room sounds echoey or something. I don't know.
Yeah, probably.
It's like a setting or something. But yeah, I'm here. I don't think I sound echoey, but only you can tell me.
I wouldn't tell you if you were.
Our viewers can tell us how bad Ricky sounds today. I don't think it's that bad.
In the comments, comment how bad the mic is.
Yeah. We were spending the tech check talking about whether or not you observed Veterans Day in your part of the country, and then we talked about Monday Night Raw for a few minutes, for like 30 seconds. So
yeah, what's happening in the thing that we're going to? Just give me like the short.
Well, Cena has a belt now. Cena has a belt now. He took the belt from Dom Mysterio. Wrestling spoilers for anybody who didn't watch Raw yesterday.
That's wrestling. Okay.
What's that?
What did you say? I don't. People who get annoyed about sports spoilers.
Wrestling's not a sport, dude.
It's on ESPN.
Yeah. So is Magic the Gathering.
It's a sport?
No, it's not. It's okay. It's okay that you feel that way. You can be wrong. It's fine. But aside from that, they're doing war games, which is going to be teams versus teams. But the men's team that they set up is Cody Rhodes, CM Punk, and Jey Uso versus the new version of the Vision, which is Braun Breaker, Bronson Reed, and Logan Paul. And then
we have to see a Paul.
Yeah. And then on the women's side, they just Charlotte Flair and Alexa Bliss just lost their belts yesterday. Their tag team belts to the Kabuki Warriors. And because of some intervention from Lash Legend and Nia Jax. And then to their rescue, Io Sky came out, and followed by Rhea Ripley with a face mask because she just got her nose broken a few weeks ago in Japan. And I think everybody was very worried that she was not going to be making it to San Diego. But game on. She's ready. She's got a wicked face mask. It's really cool.
The definition of sport: an activity involving physical exertion and skill in which a individual or team competes against one another or others for entertainment.
Yeah, but they're not competing. They're actually scripted.
For entertainment.
It's not a competition though.
It's a competition.
It's not a competition.
They're competing for fan love.
That's not the point.
To continue being part of the promotion.
I don't think I like the definition you found of sport. I think you just looked for one that you liked. Where'd you go for that one?
I just typed sport, definition of sport.
An athletic activity requiring skill or physical prowess and often of a competitive nature, as racing, baseball, tennis, golf, bowling, wrestling, boxing, hunting, fishing, etc.
Yeah, pretty similar.
Anyways, what do you got going on? What have you been up to? You went to
uh,
the Chargers game, didn't you?
I did. That was fun. Primetime football's fun.
You know, our
There's
friend
a lot
Oliver
of
was at that game too.
I know he was.
Did you see him?
We'll never say.
Why won't you?
Oh no, we were on totally opposite ends of the stadium. And also,
Uh,
my dad. I never like understood like unless you go to the game with someone like, oh, let's meet up, because like I don't I'm not paying to see you. I'm paying to see the game. Like I not that I don't want to talk to you, but we didn't choose to like sit together. You know what I mean?
because you didn't know he was going, did you?
Where he's going, no. But like I wasn't gonna like move or conversely invite Oliver to my section, which had no room. You know what I mean? Creates a weird dynamic. Uh, but it's a fun game, fun football game. I saw Predator Badlands in 40X this weekend.
I did not see Predator Badlands. I really wanted to.
That that is a good Predator movie. It's really good in 40X. Um,
It
that
also
Predator.
reestablishes the connection between the Alien universe, right?
I mean,
What are you talking about? Why are you even? You do realize that Wayland Yutani is an
I
alien
mean,
thing, right? That's not.
is it reestablishing? It's been established. I'm trying to think.
I mean, are we gonna? Are we gonna? Are we assuming that this new franchise or these new rebootquels are still accepting all previous movies as canon, or are we
I mean, this
pretending?
one it's so far in the future that it
Yeah,
kind of it's its own thing. It doesn't. All of the other stuff could have happened without
yeah.
any way touching this.
That's not what I hear from Dan Trachtenberg. He's pretty sure this is canon in the same universe and connected
Well,
to
that's what
the
I'm saying.
original.
Like it could be like they don't. There's nothing explicitly linking it to like a previous Predator movie or Alien movie. Like there's not like the black goo from Prometheus doesn't show up or something like that, like of that
Yeah,
nature.
yeah. I
Um,
understand.
but it's interesting. I mean, it's not the first movie where we got like a protagonist predator, but
It's not.
I
It's not.
no in AVP they the first AVP they established, actually both of them, the predator is like the good guy.
No, no. In AVP, the protagonists are the humans that are stuck in the middle of that war.
Yeah, and they like, oh fuck,
They're,
we gotta help the predators.
yeah, they choose to help the predators, but the predator is not the protagonist of that story.
They
The
are the
the
lesser
people
of the
are.
two evils.
That's fine, but I think you should look up the definition of protagonist now.
And the predators in AVP.
You know, a protagonist can be evil
Yeah,
too, right?
yeah. I think
Okay,
the predators in both AVP movies like perform heroic actions. There's some heroism with
sure,
them.
but they're supporting characters,
Eh, I'll disagree.
which is
But
weird because their movies are called Alien versus Predator, but
yeah,
you never get to
like
know anything about them as people,
what are you talking about?
as characters. I mean, not as people. You get to know about their race, but not like them as characters. What are the
Yeah,
names of the characters in those movies?
they do have names because they sell toys of them.
But I see I believe that this is the reason this movie is so exciting is because it's the first time that the predator is actually the protagonist of the story, and they developed a language for the predators finally for this movie. Because before it's just been a series of clicks and stuff like that, but like they actually worked out the linguistics of everything.
If you've seen any predator lore, you know their face is very distinctive, right?
Yeah.
They have the mandibles and the inner mouth and the weird hair things. Like
Hmm.
So it was really cool to like. They don't put a mask on it on that thing on that predator.
Yeah,
Like through most of that movie, like you're just watching this creature like's eyes and mouth
yeah,
just move in its own fucked up looking way, and it's kind of cool. It's also really neat that like I mean we are pretty in tune with like some predator lore. What are the Yautja?
that's what Dan Trachtenberg wanted the movie to be called,
Um,
but Fox was not having it.
like
He wanted it to just be called Yautja.
they don't like there's no reference of them as like the predator, if that makes sense. Like they're constantly saying Yautja in that movie, which is
Yeah,
also really cool.
that's why he wanted
Um,
that to be the name of the movie, which
um,
would be funny.
but it's a fun watch. They do some really neat things with the predator isms. Predator's kind of like a space Batman in a weird way with all his little gadgets.
Yeah,
So when the dynamic of those gadgets or the meaning behind those gadgets changes, what does a predator do or use? It's like really cool what they kind of
yeah.
put in
From what
there.
I've heard, it's basically like the Predator is the Arnold of the story. He's the
Yeah.
underdog in his story, and that's cool.
Mhm.
Yeah, I've also seen the clip where he loses all his gear. They put that on Hulu.
Oh, I mean that's like the first like 3 minutes of
Yeah,
it.
but I'm saying like I understand what you're saying because like they strip him of his stuff, and you know a Batman without his stuff is still pretty badass. Just so you know. Yeah, but that's cool. I do want to see it. I will try to find a time to do it. How was the 40X? Was it worth it?
Oh yeah, it was worth it. He crashes a ship pretty early on, and that was probably the most violent 40X I've ever experienced.
No, oh boy.
Um,
Okay.
it's a very long uh very long like tracking shot of everything going wrong, and so everything that's breaking off the ship, like
Yeah.
you feel it.
That's cool.
For 40X spoilers for people who care.
um, did you ask me what I've been nerding out on? I think you
No,
did.
what have you been nerding out on?
Dispatch.
Oh yeah, you were talking about this earlier last
That
week.
that game is sick.
Episode 3 came out right now, right? Or it just came out?
No, episode 7 and 8 come out tomorrow.
Oh.
Yeah, the final 2 episodes come out tomorrow. So I've been kind of slow playing it. So like I've been playing one episode a day for the last few days. So I actually, after we record this podcast, I will go finish episode 6, and then tomorrow I will play the last 2.
What's your telltale hierarchy of the stuff that you played?
The Wolf Among Us is cool. It's really cool, but I never bothered to complete it.
Mm-hmm.
Mostly because I never liked the Fables comic books. It wasn't that like it was a bad game in any way. I just didn't like that universe. I played a lot of the Telltale Batmans because I like Batman. They are quite buggy. And they were all right. They were fun. They were fun-ish. I was streaming them during COVID, like during the first year of COVID.
Mm-hmm.
I played maybe 10 minutes of Guardians of the Galaxy, and I did not like it. Telltale game. And then I never really played The Walking Deads because I didn't really
Oh wow.
I didn't read the books. And so I didn't really want to like I don't know, spoil it or whatever. I'm not sure why, but my wife played
they're in their
the
own
Walking
lane
Dead.
from the books.
Yeah.
But that first season, that the first Walking Dead game, I guess, which I think honestly not the first. It might have been the first Telltale game. They're like storytelling games.
Yeah.
That one's a pretty. You make some choices in that game that kind of linger.
Yeah. This one chooses to be more of a comedy, so the choices don't feel as like stressful, I guess is the way I'd want to put it. You know what I mean? Like there's still choices that impact the way you play the game, like early on in the game. So like you know what the premise of the game, right, is, right? Like you're a dispatcher for uh for a superhero team. Like you work for a superhero dispatch network where they have a series of dispatchers that are all assigned teams of superheroes to deal with different parts of, you know, America, whatever. So yours is dealing with this with Torrance in Los Angeles, like a part of Los Angeles. And
Oh, that's where I work.
You actually, is it spelled with an A?
Torrance?
Yeah.
Toor, yeah.
Okay.
Like
I wasn't
at
sure.
the end? Torrance?
Ants, ANCE.
Yeah, Torrance.
Okay, cool. Well, then it's that part of town. But it's like in an invincible kind of world, you know what I mean? Where like superheroes are all over the place.
There are too many tall buildings for this to be Torrance.
Yeah, see, I wasn't sure if it was a real Torrance, but the idea is you got stuck with the bottom of the barrel. You got stuck essentially with the Suicide Squad or the Thunderbolts. They're a group of villains that are dubbed the Z Team because they are trying to rehabilitate them to be superheroes. And so you're in charge of this motley crew of people who don't really know how to be superheroes, and you've got to send them on calls, like distress calls, to go, you know, mop up the problems in the city. And, you know, as you do this job, you start forming relationships with the characters, and it's really fun, but you also like end up having to light a fire under their ass. And so there's a point in the story where you have to cut one of them from the team. And so you've got to choose which one to cut. And what's really cool is that it's very early in the game that you do that. And every episode that you play afterwards, much like the Dragon Age games or the Mass Effect games, like your playthrough is different from someone else's because you chose to cut so and so and they chose to cut somebody else. And then later you get another choice of adding a new member to the team, and you get to choose from two people from that. So you know what I mean? So it just keeps branching. And so like it definitely encourages replay value, you know what I mean? Because you want to keep trying to see what different story elements happen in your game and stuff. And you know, sadly, the more you play those kind of games, the more you realize like choice is an illusion and certain things are going to play out regardless. But you can't take anything away from the first time you play one of those games. And I will say a lot of the stuff that I didn't like about Telltale games has been remedied in this new game. Like it's a much quicker pace. Like there's never times where like they're waiting for you to choose what to say. Like you have to choose it before the sentence ends, you know what I mean? So like the dialogue keeps flowing naturally and stuff. And then they just have really awesome voice actors in it too. So it's really fun. It's a charming game. Aaron Paul is just super awesome in it. And it's, you know, it's kind of short. It's like every episode's maybe 30 minutes to an hour or something like that. So I know it's going to be done tomorrow, but I'm excited for it. Highly recommend Dispatch to anybody who's ever.
How long, like end to end, would you say it is?
Probably like 5-6 hours. The whole game.
Oh, bad.
I restarted it from scratch on Sunday because I was trying to like min max, because you actually get to level up the superheroes. Like as they do go on missions, they gain XP, and then you can put points in their stats. It's like they have like D&D stats, you know what I mean? Like they have.
Oh, okay.
And so you're putting points in those so that they can better handle certain calls and stuff. And as you progress through the game, like different calls have different thresholds that they have to be met, you know, in order to succeed at them and stuff. So it's pretty cool. But there's also a bit of die rolling component to it. So like even if your characters aren't great at the challenge, they still do a random number generator to see if you actually still do it. You still fall within the parameters, you know. So yeah, so there's a little bit of randomness thrown in there just to gamify it, to make it feel like, you know, it's not all scripted. There are parts of it that are just completely RNG. And so, you know, so I restarted it on Sunday, and you know, by Sunday night I was back to where I was before, after the 4 days or 3 days or whatever I'd been playing. So it's not that bad.
So is that the save you're taking in?
Is it the save I'm taking into the end? Yeah, I'm not gonna start over today. Like I'm not.
Oh,
like,
yeah,
I want to. Like I'm happy with the way that the game is playing out, and so once I finish it tonight, I'm just going in tomorrow fresh, just to see what happens. Also, there's dong in the first 5 minutes of the game. I forgot to tell you that yesterday.
Oh, you told me this multiple times.
Oh wait, I told you this last week, didn't I?
Yeah.
Okay, yeah. I forgot we recorded on Thursday, and that was like right when I bought the game.
I know my schedule's all messed up this late from last week, from the week prior to last week to this week. Yeah. But let's talk about some of the few news things that happened since.
Oh yeah.
Marvel Rivals is getting its next set of characters.
Wow.
Next Marvel Rivals update is coming on the 14th. So next, this upcoming weekend, you are getting Rogue and Gambit as playable characters in the hero shooter game by NetEase. Gambit's going to be a strategist, and Rogue is what is Rogue?
A thirst trap?
Rogue is not playable yet, so I don't know.
She's a thirst trap, is what she is.
She's a thirst trap, yeah. I mean, she looks like Rogue. She has a suit.
Yeah. I also read that they were adding a single player mode for the Halloween season. Not a single player, a PvE mode that you could play with your friends. But they had limited characters that you could use in that mode.
It was like the Ultron thing.
Was it?
I think so.
No, I'm not sure. But if they do continue to add like PvE into the game, I will happily rejoin that game. But like, I don't like the pace of the team hero shooter. It's just not for me.
Gotta get good.
But that is a good looking Rogue.
You know, it's also good looking. The collab that no one saw coming.
I know, right?
Kith, the New York streetwear brand, is doing probably the most interesting collabs of collabs. They are doing a Marvel versus Capcom capsule. So again, a very specific Marvel versus Capcom, like with that branding. Capsule that includes a 1-up arcade machine of the Marvel vs. Capcom game, a handheld gaming machine, like an emulator machine, and then a few pair of shoes. We have a Iron Man Mega Man 2-pack, a Captain America Guile 2-pack, and then a standalone Ryu and Rain, all pairs of Asics, kind of styled in the colors of those fighters.
Yes.
In addition to these items,
this is the crazy part.
They are releasing a collab Marvel Legends, or two of them, actually specifically the Gamerverse of the Captain America and Wolverine.
Reskins.
Reskin, like so in the alternate colors, player 2 colors. And then separately doing a Ryu and Mega Man from Jada Toys and same thing, alternate B colors. The Ryu and the Mega Man have Kith branding on them.
I know the Mega Man looks so tacky with the Kith on his chest. It does not look like a toy that
these
anybody would
aren't.
want.
What's crazy is though they're not Marvel versus Cap. Like they're independent of each other.
Right. So so what's crazy is the licensing that had to occur, because they had to get, because the whether or not they're branded Marvel versus Capcom, the collaboration is, you know what I mean?
Yeah.
So the collaboration is a Kith Marvel versus Capcom branding. So what they had to do is they had to get sign off from Marvel, Capcom, Jada, and Hasbro.
Well,
all to
kind
do
of.
this.
They got to sign. Yeah, they got to sign off from Capcom, a separate sign off from Jada, and a separate one from
Marvel, and a separate one from Hasbro.
And Hasbro. Yeah.
Yeah. That's what I just said. That's nuts, right? That's four companies that they had to get to sign off on this. And like, honestly, the Jada Toys ones are cool, but like, I can't stand that Mega Man has a Kith logo on his chest. Like, that's, I guess he's Kith Mega Man. I don't know. Like, the Ryu is cool because it's black. It's the black outfit. The Captain America is awesome because it's the green variant. And then the Wolverine's all right. I mean, by the way, just to be clear, like that Captain America figure from the Gamerverse is like the best Captain America toy ever. So it's cool that we're getting a repaint of, like, you know, a new colorway for it. I've learned of collectors that are way into just doing colorways of toys, and so, you know, that's right up Kith's alley for sure. So yeah, I'm on the fence about these because I want to know how much they're going to be.
Correction: the Kith Wolverine, the slice effect says Kith on it.
Oh,
and then for Captain America, the charging star effect says Kith on it.
Okay, all right.
Yeah,
but it's not on your toys though, you know.
No,
it's on the accessories.
Yeah.
The accessories. Yeah, so that's a little better.
I'm betting like $40 each.
You think so? I would guess at least $40 each. Do you like them?
I do. Do I need them? Do I want them? Yes. Do I need them? No.
Would you open them?
I would open them. Yeah, they would go on my desk for sure.
Okay. Yeah.
Yeah.
I think they're cool. I just can't decide if I don't care enough about Kith as a brand, and I already have the toys the way I want them to look, or my inevitable Marvel versus Capcom photography that I will be doing very soon. So I think the coolest part, honestly, of the whole collaboration is the stop motion video that they made to promote it. Plastic Action kills it. They did recently, over the summer, they did a stop motion to promote the Gamerverse line of Marvel Legends. You and I saw that at Comic-Con. That video is amazing. And so the Kith video is super cool, but it's not as cool as the one.
I think for whatever it's worth, kudos to the team at Kith.
Yeah, for sure.
We had been talking about this for, I think, since Comic-Con. Like, oh yeah, you had mentioned they scale perfectly.
They scale perfectly. Yeah, and they look really good together. Yeah.
So the insight that someone on their team had to like make this still happen is pretty crazy.
For sure. I agree 100%. It's very cool. Yeah.
On to some DC news. This is from Variety. A DC crime series is in the works at HBO Max.
Okay.
Focused around Jimmy Olsen. So Skylar Gisondo, who played Jimmy Olsen in Superman.
Okay.
And the first season would focus on Gorilla Grodd.
Okay.
These are things that got announced. Mockumentary style show. Is this
you like it?
That you want it? I don't. I don't
like it.
No.
I don't know how I feel about that. Like, I think that there's a term and it's like, let's stop beating around the bush.
Mhm.
And I feel like all of these little things they toss at us are fully beating around the bush all the time.
It's like it gives me like Agatha All Along vibes for like. And granted, I like that show. I'm not dissing on the show, but when that show was announced, like, oh,
Oh, you don't
I
have to
I
explain
don't
to
think
me.
I wanted a Agatha show.
I'm pretty sure I was vocally.
You did not want to do a show on the Agatha show.
Yeah.
And so I don't care about Jimmy Olsen that much.
I'm happy to be proved wrong, but
Sure.
like I'm not excited about that right now. So whatever. It's fine.
Also topical from last week. Can you guess what other thing's going to be coming soon? That's getting the HBO treatment
From last week.
Mm-hmm.
No, I can't.
V for Vendetta is getting an HBO series. James Gunn, Peter Safran will executive produce. But basically, it is getting the Watchmen treatment. And we'll see this story adapted into a show. It'd be interesting if they live action show. Yeah.
Okay.
I'd be interested if what period they set it in.
Yeah.
Is it intrinsic to like this weird like neo 80s ish time or
no? I think the reason they're greenlighting V is because the same reason that I wanted to watch V last week is because it's incredibly relevant to the world that we live in right now. So they could just place it in our world and it would be fine. Now, the question is does V exist as an Elseworld? Or does it exist in the DC universe they're establishing?
Oh, there's no way it's right.
It's got to be an Elseworld, right?
Yeah. I don't know. I think they're gonna piss off Alan Moore one more time, right?
Yeah. I mean, that's how it goes. That's just how it goes. Speaking of pissing off weird creators, I forgot. I also finished Sandman this weekend.
No.
It was an excellent show. I'm very happy with how that show played out. It made me understand my wife a lot more, and like, and she watched.
Or does it?
It ends. It ends. Like as she kept jumping in and out, she would walk in while I was watching it and come back, and she's like, "Wow, they're really cramming a lot of books into these episodes." Like, so she was pretty impressed to see that they did do the finale of the story as it was done in the book. And then there's even an extra episode afterwards, just as a bonus episode. It's very good. It's an excellent show. It is a lot of talking and not a lot of action at all in that stuff. So like, if you're not into, I don't think you were into it the first time around. So, but I was very
that
happy.
First episode did nothing for me.
Yeah, it is a beautiful.
I've tried to read Sandman in high school and I just couldn't do it either.
It's a beautiful story that ends up really getting you in that place where like you just like really have like this awesome appreciation for the wonder of life. You know what I mean? By the end of it, like I'm sure you've watched a movie or read or seen played a game or something that makes you feel that way. And that's what Sandman did for me last week when I finished it. I felt very emotional and I felt like, wow, this life is really crazy and you just never know where it's going to take you, you know.
Neil Gaiman, hell of a writer.
Yeah, hell of other things too.
Well, let's move on and talk about that other thing that we're supposed to be talking about. It's time for the spotlight.
I was trying to kick off Immigrant Song right there.
Oh. You can start it now.
No, I'm good. I don't want to get a copyright violation.
Wow. You think you're that good?
I'm that good.
That violation?
I'm that good. Yeah.
Thor Ragnarok came out 2017.
Yep.
I say it the title's not in front of me. Directed by Taika Waititi, starring Chris Hemsworth. Who am I missing? Chris Hemsworth.
A billion other people.
Other people. Why am I blinking?
Tessa Thompson, Mark Ruffalo.
I'm trying to name the characters and not the actors.
Jeff Goldblum,
Anthony,
Kate Blanchett, Idris Alba, Carl Urban, Benedict Cumberbatch, Anthony Hopkins, Clancy Brown, Zach Levi's in it too.
Yes, Shazam, man.
Yeah, Shazam is in it for 5 seconds.
Other shitty people.
Ray Stevenson's in it too. R.I.P. For 5 seconds.
For 5 seconds.
He's Volstagg. He's the one that dies alongside Zach Levi's character, Fandral.
Oh.
They both die in 5 seconds of that movie. I think they get to say like a line. It's that's the hardest part of the movie for me, honestly.
The Warriors 5?
The Warriors 3. The Warriors 3 dying. Because it tells me that the people in charge of the creative part of the MCU, as far as the Thor world is concerned, they just didn't know what to do with those characters. They didn't know how to make those characters likable.
I mean, but that was obvious, like by the second movie.
I know, and that's what I'm saying. Like, rather than try to find a way to breathe life into them, they just said, "Nah, let's just kill them." You know what I mean? And they got those actors to come back just to get killed. That part hurts me a little bit, just because I really, really love when bit characters are given the chance to grow over time and become something more than you would have ever expected them to be. Do you know what I mean? Like Darcy. Like Darcy shouldn't exist, but she does. And there are, whether or not you and I like her, there are a lot of people that do like her.
But I think it's on 1-to-1 because Darcy's like a new thing.
Howard the Duck has gotten a full-on episode with Darcy of what if, because he was peppered in throughout the story. You know what I mean? Like they could have killed Howard at any time, but instead they chose to keep just sprinkling him in, and then eventually he's a character that we actually kind of are interested in and stuff. Do you know what I mean? Like, those are just two examples, but like I think that's, for me, the fun part of supporting characters. You know, like it or not, it's cool that for the actor, and it's cool for the character that Jimmy Olsen is going to have his own show. You know what I mean? Because we get to learn more about him as a character. And I just wish that this movie didn't have to completely throw out everything about the old movies in order to...
It is kind of called Ragnarok.
Yeah, I understand it's called Ragnarok, but like, you know, a lot of Asgardians survive Ragnarok, which is not how Ragnarok works. But in any case,
I think a shipload of Guardians survive.
Yeah, and now they live on Earth and stuff, you know. So anyways, like it was a weird tangent we got off to starting this one, but like,
yeah, I didn't realize you love the Warriors 3 so much.
I think the reason, I mean, because I haven't read a ton of Thor comics, but the ones I have read have the Warriors 3 in them. So, you know, that's kind of like why, and they don't even have Balder in these stories. And so like, I think the weird part for me about it is like, I'm not really married to the comics the way a lot of Thor fans are, but I do like, you know, we've talked about this plenty of times in these recent MCU discussions, is I'm always wrestling with two parts of me. One is the part that reads comic books and wants to see his comic books come to life. The other is the part that understands that movies are a different medium, and in that space, we have to do things differently to keep one, comic book readers on their toes, but two, just to tailor the story to fit the type of experience that we're having, right? We only get 2 hours to watch a movie about these characters, and then we won't see them again for 3 or 4 years. So we have to pick and choose our battles, right? Differently than comics would. Comics can afford to have Warriors 3 because they're going to come out every month. You know what I mean? And there's going to be no end to the amount of stories they tell in Thor. But this, we can only do so much in the movies. So yeah. So I think the reason I started with the nitpick is because that is literally my only nitpick of this movie. That's it. I love this movie. I think it's a blast. I think that I was so happy going in because I love Taika Waititi. Like, I was already a fan of his movies before I saw this. When they announced that it was going to be Taika directing this movie and writing this movie, I was like, hell yes, let's do this. And I was not disappointed. Now, I say that because I'm going to punt the ball over to you, because I'm pretty sure you didn't feel the same way about this movie.
When it came out?
Yeah.
I think in a more similar to your Warriors 3 sentiment, all the good in this movie has in it, it closes a lot of Thor or even potential Thor stories. Like, they're just off the map. You just can't do certain things now because they're making this huge shift from what this character's home, and
the hammer gets trashed.
The hammer gets shredded. I'm not saying it's not that it's not cool. I do enjoy this movie. What are you talking about? But if you're a diehard Thor fan, which I'm not, but there are Thor things that you cannot do now because of this movie.
I wasn't trying to throw
kind of a bummer.
I wasn't trying to throw you under the bus, but I thought that this was going to fall into the same category as the Deadpool movies, where they try too hard to be funny.
I think on second watch, it some of the stuff doesn't land, but at its release, this was such like a positive left field, experience.
And they applied the Guardians formula to Thor, right?
They applied the Guardians formula to Thor. I think Taika's a much better writer than Ryan Reynolds in every aspect. I feel like the jokes land a little bit better. But also they put Thor in a objectively sillier environment, and that let him be sillier. They didn't they could have gone like him being the straight man in the whole ordeal, which he kind of was for a lot of the previous MC stuff. But they leaned into it, and there's some very charming moments from Chris Hemsworth, in his he's a legitimately funny dude.
He's super funny, and that's why I love him in this movie. But also in this movie, he gets to not be the best too, right? He gets humbled pretty early on by his sister Hela, and then he gets humbled again when he ends up on Sakaar in the battle arena, and he has to fight the champion, and it's the Hulk, played by Mark Ruffalo, fabulously. I love Mark Ruffalo in this movie, but the Thor whoops his ass. I mean, Hulk whoops his ass, and so I think that lends itself to the funny, right? Is because he has to figure out how to talk his way out of situations because his brawn's not doing the job.
Well, yeah, he takes his dad dies. He gets this weird exile. He gets beat by the Hulk. He loses his
his
hammer,
magical item.
His magical item. So I mean, to jump to the end, when Odin kind of gives him that pep talk pep talk at the end before he fights Hela. He's like, you're not the god of hammers, you're the god of thunder. And yeah, like Thor's a badass thing or being, creature, entity without all this extra stuff, but because he's been, for lack of a better phrase, using him as like a crutch, he never like really maxed out his potential. But when he has to, and he does that like lightning strike, like, oh my god, that's you get back to like the Taika-ness of it. Like, you get silly Thor, which is kind of fun in this movie, but he also delivers like enough badass Thor to mix in there.
It's kind of like
to satisfy both.
It's kind of like the plot of Iron Man 3.
I think the fight scene in the last Iron Man 3 is not that great. The final
Whoa, fight. Okay.
I think cool. the promise of the Iron Legion was not delivered on.
Fair enough. I was just trolling you a little bit, just a tiny bit. Yeah, no, I love this movie. I think the funniest thing about this movie is, in the argument against throwing the baby out with the bathwater, is they convinced Idris to come back for this one, and he was almost non-existent in the second one. Like they did not have, like, I know that Idris was not happy.
He was in a weird spot come the second one.
He was in the second one. It was a very weird spot for Idris Elba's character. But the third one, actually, we got to have more of Heimdall as a heroic character. You know what I mean? Like,
Thor 1, Idris wasn't Idris. Idris Elba wasn't Idris Elba in Thor 1, if that makes sense. The actor, in terms of star power, it happened between Thor 1 and Thor 2, right?
But he had a smaller role in Thor 2.
Yeah, he had a much smaller role in Thor 2.
And then they convinced him to come back for Avengers 2? Yeah, Age of Ultron, right?
Yeah, well, even briefly, even Love and Thunder.
No, but Age of Ultron came before Love and Thunder.
Yeah, well,
they set up the Ragnarok story in Age of Ultron.
And then when they got him back for Infinity War.
Yeah. Which, again, he's not used in an incredibly cool way in Infinity War either. But yeah, no, it was interesting to see that all these other characters got thrown out, but they're like, you know what, Heimdall's still worth saving, and so they found a way to make that work. Granted, the star power of Heimdall was much greater than the Warriors 3 at the time, for sure. So, whatever. But I did appreciate that Sif is just not even present in this movie, so that she can't just get like randomly slaughtered by Hela, who is just a little OP with those giant swords, like those daggers or whatever. She just killed anything, or she did anything she wanted with those swords. But she's a fun character. I do think it's a cool story about, like, the sins of the father, and how we learn that Odin wasn't the dad he always, made himself out to be, and that he had a daughter way before Thor and Loki, and he actually went on very much Viking style raids across the universe with her, just annihilating entire, groups of people and conquering the galaxy to get to where they were as the rulers and protectors of the 9 realms. But he covered up that past and banished his daughter to wherever, and it was only his power that kept her at bay. And so, we see, I was, by the way, I remember being so happy that we made it to Odin's death in this story, because I kept, like, and I know this sounds bad, I kept wondering when they cast Anthony Hopkins in the first movie if he would survive to a third movie.
I mean, they could have got another movie or two out of it.
I mean, he's still around. He's still around. Yeah, so proud of you, Anthony Hopkins. But, like, I'm just saying,
Transformers Anthony Hopkins.
He looked older than maybe maybe he really was in these movies. And it's fair. They were making him play Odin. You know what I mean? Like Odin's like the all father. He's super old and wizened and all this stuff. So, you know, I just remember being scared.
Oh man, he is old.
See?
Man's 87.
See?
Like he was how old was he? 7.
Was
he was 80.
it
He was
was
80 in Ragnarok.
Yes, he was 80 in Ragnarok. Do you understand where my apprehension was coming from? Like, I was like worried when they cast Anthony Hopkins. I was like, wow, that's a bold choice. And so I'm really happy that we got to see the death of Odin in this movie. And it was cool. It was a very warm moment where I think the greatest strength of this movie comes in the scenes with Thor and Loki. I think that was the part that they knew was the magic of the franchise, right? Like Thor and Loki together were the best parts of every movie. And so I think Taika just wrote a story that brought them together as brothers and forced them to like overcome all the obstacles together. And for fun, he throws in a Valkyrie and a Hulk and a Meek and a Korg and stuff. And he has his own little merry band of Avengers, and it's all fun and hilarious and stuff. I think Scarlett Johansson makes a cameo in this movie too, right? On the Quinjet. In the Quinjet when they record a video of her, or it's the video that she was sending a message to. It's from a different camera angle, but it's the message she's sending to Hulk in the Age of Ultron movie. And so she ends up saying the sun's getting real low, and then that's how he turns into Bruce for the first time in for 2 years. But yeah, there's so much fun going on. I do want to mention that the one thing we have managed to ignore, Jeff Goldblum is amazing in this movie. Like, he is the true comic relief.
That he is probably my only gripe in this movie.
Okay.
I don't know if I enjoy Jeff Goldblum Grandmaster.
But you could kind of believe that he's related to the Collector, right? They're both eccentric in different ways. Grandmasters were just way more into orgies.
One's like Benicio. There's more nuance, I think, with the way Benicio does his like his shtick, right? He's a freak for just items.
He's a geek. He's a collector. Like
I don't think the Grandmaster has that same affinity for games. I don't get that in this movie.
Yeah, I think that that's fair. That's a very fair statement. But I think it's more that his real affinity is for control. Right? And I think that's what he's more into. And it's
in the comics, the Grandmaster is like the leader of
he runs the Conquest of Champions or Contest of Champions. Contest of Champions. Yeah. So I'll agree with you. I do believe that he's not to the letter. Like you definitely get the idea that he's like more into the scene.
Benicio is playing a character, and Jeff Goldblum is playing Jeff Goldblum.
That's very fair. But I love Jeff Goldblum, and I think he's great in this movie as Jeff Goldblum. I love when he like obliterates that guy sitting next to Thor, who's like his brother-in-law or something like that, or
like you need a little bit more moments like of that.
His cousin. Mm-hmm. Yeah. There's not enough nightmare fuel for sure in the movie. Like it started stronger than it ended as far as the horrors of Sakaar. Sakaar just ended up being like, I don't know. I think that's the one thing I was starting to notice by this movie is we really do like to find ways to have generic army characters in every Marvel movie. Like, so this one,
Sakaarians were in Guardians.
I know, but so there's Sicarians again in this one, but then there's also like these weird Jack Kirby style Sicarians that stand around at the Grandmaster's Palace. And then there's also the army of the dead that Hela raises. And it's just like, there's a lot of CG fodder in these movies. The further we get, you know what I mean? That gets weird. I think that makes me, for me, that makes Spider-Man Homecoming just a little bit more charming because we don't have to have like all of those senseless army battles, and stuff like that. But I guess that's just a thing. It's a thing. It's a symptom of a Thor movie, right? Like every Thor movie has that, like just tons of CG nameless faces that just get obliterated in battles and stuff. And so whatever, it's fine. Yeah, I will say this movie, like, I know we said it's banger after banger after banger. In hindsight, this movie is not on the same level as Guardians 2 or Spider-Man Homecoming for me, but I still thoroughly enjoy it. And I think it's because of all the new characters that we get. I think Korg, Meek, Grandmaster, Valkyrie are all really, they're all characters meant to replace Thor's previous supporting cast, right? And I think they do that job of giving you a hint of more potential. Now, where they end up delivering on that is questionable, you know what I mean? But like, Taika was willing to give us an entire new cast of characters and hope that some of them would stick. And so I think some stuck more than others, right? But like, we have yet to see the Grandmaster return, right? I don't think, except in What If, right?
I mean, he definitely recognized that, like, yeah, a lot of what if, but he recognized that Thor up until that point wasn't working. Like, as
Yeah,
like the character that is Thor was kind of this weird entity in the MCU, and so he found a way to put his spin on him, and he's on the much better character post Ragnarok.
yeah, and in fairness to Taika for writing, this movie, also, like, they gave him the James Gunn treatment on this movie, right? He got to write and direct this whole thing, so he had a lot more freedom than a lot of other people doing these MCU projects. But in credit to him, he also added a lot more Norse mythology into this movie than the Dark World did. Like, the Dark World just chose to be an Infinity Stone movie, right? Like, it had nothing to do with Norse mythology at all. But this one's got Surtur and Fenrir and the bringing of Ragnarok and like Hela. Like, there's a lot of characters that are actually all from Norse mythology that were added to this movie, and so I thought that's kind of cool. Like, he was trying to cater to both types of fans, right? He was like, "Hey, Thor fans, here's lots of Thor stuff." You know what I mean? Like, maybe it's not presented the way you're used to it being presented, but I'm giving you actual Thor stuff. And then for everybody who just wants to go see a popcorn movie, he's like, "Hey, check it out. I'm going to do some bonker stuff here. Here's the Hulk. Here's Jeff Goldblum, like, here's." So I applaud him for the amount of things that he had to juggle on his plate to execute this movie. And I think he executed this movie quite impressively. He also had to have a Doctor Strange cameo show up in this movie.
With the gloves, damn it.
With the gloves. Yeah, it was the most screen accurate Doctor Strange we've gotten, right? Or I mean, comic accurate is what I meant to say. So yeah, I do love this movie. I think that the interesting thing about it is, and allow me to go on one little rant before we exit. I told you earlier in the show that Dominic Mysterio got beat by John Cena and lost his belt. And the funniest thing about that is, like, Dom has been a really popular character for this year, or for like a couple of years now, as a heel. And leading into this, this thing, this Survivor Series that's coming to San Diego, there's been a lot of speculation that Cena and Dom are going to clash. And a lot of people have been really excited about the possibility of this happening. People thought it was going to happen in San Diego. People had all these ideas of what was going to happen. They're like, oh man, Cena might win the belt and then he gets a grand slam and all these things. So many people excited about it. But then once it actually happened yesterday, I started seeing so many people upset. And it was more like, but what does this do for Dom? Like, it doesn't do anything to just have this old man show up and take his belt, and he's going to lose it in 4 weeks anyways because he's going to retire and stuff. And like, I just kept seeing all these people upset about this, and it reminded me like of Thor Ragnarok as the dust settled. Do you remember the further we've gotten away from Thor Ragnarok releasing, the more people find things to hate about it. Like, especially once Love and Thunder came out, then everybody's like, for everybody that dislikes Love and Thunder, Thor Ragnarok was just as bad. And it's such a weird thing, which is why I put on the thumbnail for this episode, you can't please everyone. Because like, that's really the crux of like every MCU project, is they try to please as many people as they can, but they just cannot please everyone.
No, I mean, look, they took, again, like this movie, for better or for worse, it changed Thor. And yeah, to your point, not everyone's going to love that change.
Yeah.
But a change was needed for that character. I don't think anyone disagrees with that.
Yeah.
Now it's interesting now that I think Love and Thunder shit the bed. So, in terms of how far they took this character down that particular lane. So I'm curious to see how they kind of loop him back. Right.
As a reminder, I still like that movie.
I like that movie too, but it's a very silly Thor in that movie.
It is. It's a silly Thor.
We haven't seen him since, right? Like, this dude's about to fight a Doctor Doom next. Like,
yeah, I know, and it's getting messier as we go, but yeah, it just really, I just thought it was funny that I started seeing all of these fan reactions to this wrestling thing that everybody wanted, and it just reminded me of the fan reactions to Love and Thunder, or to any time, like in any fandom that I've ever been a part of. Like, everybody says they want something, and then when they get it, they find a new thing to complain about. You know what I mean? And so I'm not trying to hate on fans for wanting things that satisfy their needs. I think that's part of fandom, right? Is you have your own story in your head of how things play out. And I guess I just encourage people who have that deep passion, go tell your stories, because like, they're never going to do it the way you want to do it. So you either take it and say, okay, I like this, but I think I could do it better. Or you just say, I don't like this, and I guess I'm just going to bitch and moan. Alan Moore had a quote that I saw recently come up, where he was saying, like, for everybody who's wanting to do their own writing or create their own stories and stuff like that, while it is very good to read or consume media that everybody says is good, he highly also recommends that you consume media that is accepted widely to be bad, because it's only when you watch or read the bad stories that you say to yourself, I could do it better than that. And I think that was really cool to hear that kind of thing, because I think that's what a lot of people, the kick in the ass that a lot of people need when they watch stories that piss them off. I think it's because they have a better story in their head, and they just need the motivation to go do it. So, but I would argue that most people do not have a better story in their head than what Taika Waititi gave us in Thor Ragnarok. So just shut up.
I mean, would I Thor Ragnarok success gave us a Jojo Rabbit,
Hell
which
yeah.
I think is a better movie. And I
Oh, for
think
sure.
it's a necessary movie.
Yeah,
So I'll take that win.
for sure. Yeah, like it's like directly because of it, right? Yeah.
Mhm.
And then I just love Taika Waititi no matter what. He also got to produce Reservation Dogs, which you and I both love that show, so he's had a lot of successes come because of the doors that this opened. And I think that's what a lot of people say when they sign up to do these Marvel projects is they do them because Disney opens doors for you to do other stuff that you want to do creatively, so that's awesome. Yeah.
We haven't before we close out, we haven't talked about it yet, but we talked about Doomsday just a little bit. That trailer's coming out like in a month.
Yeah, it is.
It will be attached to
It'll be attached to
Avatar,
Christmas movies, right? Yeah.
specifically Avatar. The other Disney's temple this fall. I know you're hating on the Avatar franchise as a whole.
I hate him.
Will you see that movie in theaters?
I don't want to.
It's not a no.
I know it's not a no because I have a friend that likes to buy out theaters and invite me to go watch these movies. So I can't say it's not a no. But I'll bring a pillow.
You should just leave after that trailer plays.
I know, right? Seriously. Now, I keep seeing all these people gush over it. I saw a video of Guillermo del Toro gushing over the new Avatar movie because he's already seen it.
Actually, I want to see Frankenstein. That's another.
Yeah, I do want to see that too. I don't know. I'll probably watch it, but more for the trailer. But also the trailer is going to be on the internet too. You know what I mean? So I finally did watch that Wonder Man trailer. It's cool-ish. I'm still excited. It doesn't add a lot that the previous trailer did, like so. Just that water vibrated, like you said. So okay, cool. But yeah, no, we're winding up. We're winding down. So like we should probably wrap this up. I am excited for whatever whatever Avengers teaser we get. But I'm not going to hold my breath because that movie is a year away. So,
What do we got next week?
What do we got next week? We'll have to talk about that as far as timing goes because I'm not free until Thursday. If you want to do Thursday, then the movie is Black Panther.
I think I can do Thursday.
All right. Then it's Black Panther.
You bet.
And that leads us into the Thanksgiving week would be Avengers Infinity War. We're really close to wrapping up these MCU
Did we do Ant-Man and the Wasp?
Ant-Man and the Wasp. We did. We did.
So we just need Captain Marvel?
No, Captain Marvel and no, wait. Ant-Man and the Wasp comes out after Infinity War. Infinity War, then Ant-Man and the Wasp, and then Captain Marvel.
But we've done an Ant-Man and the Wasp show.
No, we haven't. We did Quantumania, which was worse.
Swore we done Ant-Man and the Wasp.
No, we have not. We've done Ant-Man and Quantumania. We have not done Ant-Man and the Wasp.
So we have 3 more movies. 4 more movies.
4. We have 4 more after Black Panther. Sorry, 5 because Spider-Man Far From Home.
We missed that one too?
That's after Endgame. That's the last movie before Black Widow.
Where we started.
We started with WandaVision, which came before Black Widow, but yes.
Yeah, okay.
Black Widow was the first movie we talked about.
Man.
With the podcast. 5 more. 5 more. I'm impressed, though. We're doing it pretty good. So if anybody's interested in joining us on this ride, now you know what to watch for next week before you jump on and start giving us your comments.
Well, tune in to an undisclosed time next week where we will be talking about a Black Panther movie, the Black Panther movie. But until then, True believers.